Hello, welcome to Foreign Matters on video and about to push the button. It was the Americans who came up with the word reset to describe how they wanted to proceed with US-Russian relations, but it's the Russians who've done it, and in style. The Americans meant that the new Obama administration would be more friendly after the difficulties of the second Bush term. However, the Russians have almost reset back to the Cold War. President Dmitry Medvedev has made a speech about Russian security strategy up to 2020. It included the following sentence: "The primary task is to increase the combat readiness of our forces, first of all our strategic nuclear forces." On the face of it, this is a statement of the obvious for a great nation which has been invaded from the West 3 times in 200 years. Think Napoleon, the Kaiser, and Hitler. But what's troubling for the Western powers is the context of the speech. The President made it clear the increase in readiness was to combat what he sees as the growing threat of NATO advancing eastwards. There's a pattern there. Then his defense minister talked about the Americans trying to steal the energy and mineral resources of Central Asia, a region, along with Eastern Europe, which Moscow still regards as its area of special interest. Russia had to swallow its pride when Poland, Lithuania and other former Russian client states of the Soviet Empire joined the NATO alliance. But the threat of Georgia and Ukraine, especially Ukraine joining, is just too much for the bear to bear. Add the proposed US missile deployment into Eastern Europe, the presence of troops from NATO nations in Kosovo, and you have a situation where the Russians say this far and no further. Well, that's not quite what Hillary Clinton had in mind when she presented her opposite number, Sergei Lavrov, with what was supposed to be a humorous gift when they met in Geneva this month. She gave him a red plastic button, which was meant to be marked with the word reset in Russian. Unfortunately, the State Department had a linguistic malfunction. It used the word peragruska, which, as Mr. Lavrov pointed out with a smile, means overcharge. Apparently, Mrs. Clinton quickly said, "Well, we won't let you do that," and laughed, probably nervously. Well, maybe they will have to be overcharged. The Russians may still be far from as powerful as they were in the Soviet days, but they still hold many cards, and the ones to play this year are Russian assistance in supplying NATO in Afghanistan and cancelling the proposed deal to sell Iran S-300 surface-to-air missiles. We're not back to the hair-trigger days of nuclear confrontation. Indeed, next year should see negotiations open on a replacement for the START treaty, which expires in December. But we are back in a time where if the West wants to do something, it better understand that Russia will exact a price and sometimes may be in a position to overcharge. American Express U-turn on missile defense shield? That'll do nicely. That's Foreign Matters, never knowingly undersold. See you next time.